Hello, everyone. You are tuned into the LV podcast with your host, Michelle Hall, and I am so excited to be here with you yet another time. Listen, y'all, can you believe it? I have not done an LV podcast on this platform for 2023. We've done some lives. I've had some things on my YouTube channel, but I have not done anything for the LV podcast on this platform. So I'm so excited to be with you all again. So just want to take a moment to reintroduce exactly, well, what is the LV podcast? So we know that life comes with many turns and challenges, but it also brings us joys and victories. So this is my life journey. I'm inviting you in on my life journey, where you'll get some encouragement, definitely. You'll get some support and much, much laughter. I'm telling you, this journey has been joyous and hilarious all at the same time. So this is a down-to-earth reality check with a shot of motivation for all who would listen. So if you get to listen and you're here, you decided to, after all those podcasts that are out there, you decide to take a moment to listen to the LV podcast with Michelle Hall. I thank you. So let's just get into it. So what I wanted to share today is beauty for ashes is a theme of mine that God has given me. Obviously, there is a scripture. I believe it's Isaiah 61:3, and it is the promise of the Lord, right? And so for me, there were times in my life that God reminded me that he gives us beauty for ashes. And he also makes everything beautiful in his time. So as I've been going through, the life journey, I keep remembering when I'm going through trials, when I'm going through hard times, when I'm going through challenging times, I know that it's going to work out in the end, right? Because at some point there will be beauty for whatever it is I've gone with. And as I've walked through this life's journey up until this point in my life, I can definitely see the beauty. I can see the beautiful things that God unfolds in the midst of the chaos. So I want to take a minute to share with you what happened to me about a couple of weeks ago. I was at my office, and there are times I take a walk during the day. I get up and I walk around, because sometimes when you're sitting at your desk in that sedentary position, you're not really as focused as you need to be. So I get up and I take a walk sometimes. So I took a walk around the building that I was in, and I'm just going. My focus is just to get the blood pumping and get some, get relaxed, get some thoughts. I wasn't even paying attention. So I passed this particular tree that I didn't really see when I first passed it. I just kind of looked up at it and kept going. And then the Lord spoke to me and reminded me. He said, "You have been telling me how much you talking about how much you miss New York, and you miss seeing the leaves and the changing of the leaves and the colors of the leaves that happen in the fall." And as you all know, I'm in Georgia, and not that the leaves don't change, but it's not the same thing as in New York, especially in Long Island, when I used to come out of my door and be able to see reds, oranges, all kinds of colors, fall colors just surrounding me, and the trees didn't all change the same. You can drive through areas and see the different shades, the different colors, and I used to just love to see that. Well, the Lord told me to look again. He said, you looked at something, but you didn't see it. Yeah, catch that, y'all. And when I looked up, there was one tree that was all red. Now, red is my favorite color, but this one tree, all the leaves were red. And all of these trees that I'm seeing around me, some were green, some hadn't even tried to turn. Every color was just like a yellow or a brown. This one was red, and it was so beautiful. In the midst of what I thought was the regular things, the daily things. I was used to seeing the trees not have other colors. I was used to seeing something, and so I didn't look anymore. And God said, see, right in the midst of your walk, you walked past the very thing you said that you missed. I don't know if you guys are catching me. So what I'm saying is I didn't pay attention. I was so focused on what I was feeling and what was going on in my mind, or what was happening inside of me, what all the things that were not necessarily happening, that I almost started to lose my expectation of what God was doing. This is fall after all. So I should be looking to see some changes, right? I should be understanding that the trees and the forestry and all of those type of things are going to be changing. But because it wasn't what I was expecting normally, I didn't receive it, and I just kind of just kept walking through. And so I was focusing on my walk and not focusing on what was on my walk. I was focusing on walking through a journey and not taking time to see the blessings along the way. So I want to encourage you, because don't get so caught up with the day-to-day activities. You become it's a routine, it's the same thing, and then you miss what God is doing. So you think this was it, right? So once my eyes opened, and I was able to take in the beauty of this tree. I was able to take in the beauty of the tree, and I received it, and it made me smile. And I saw, wow, every leaf on this tree is red. This whole tree is red in the midst of this. Because I paid attention, guess what, y'all? I started to continue on my journey to get back to my office. And right in front of my path, before I was about to pass this tree, it was a magnolia tree. Now, this is really not the season for that. It had bloomed. Some had bloomed and started to change, and literally there were at least 4 or 5 flowers in full bloom on the journey that I would have walked past. And when I looked at it, not only was it in full bloom, it was dripping nectar. I had never seen a flower even drip nectar, and there were bees around it, and I had this whole experience only for God to remind me. I want to remind you. See, he's like, see, you don't think it's so important to pay attention to see the goodness of God on your journey, or the good things that are happening on your journey, or this nice scenery that's going on the journey, or what's been provided for you on the journey. If I didn't stop to understand and recognize the first thing, that one red tree in that area, if I didn't stop to pay attention to it, I would have never seen the magnolia tree. Because, see, it was out of season. I wouldn't have seen the magnolia tree. I wouldn't have paid attention to the flowers blooming. I would not even have paid attention to see that not only that there was nectar dripping from it. I wouldn't have paid attention to see that bees were receiving that and were already using that to make honey at some point. All of that I wouldn't have seen, because I was so tunnel vision and focusing on what was going on in life. Just right now I'm tired. Right now I needed a shift. Okay, I just need to walk. I just need to move my body. I just need to walk. And okay, this is, I don't expect to see changes. I don't expect to see the leaves change. I don't expect. And sometimes we get like that. We get like that because life is happening every day. We're doing these new things. We're walking through these new things. We're going the same things. Excuse me, not the new things, but the same things. And we're walking through the same things. And, it's not bad, but okay. I'm still waiting on God, and it's okay. And I'm hoping things will change, but it's okay. And not seeing what's happening in front of us. So I was looking, but I wasn't seeing. Take a moment and think about that. How many things are you looking at that you're really not seeing? How many blessings, beauty moments that you are walking through as if they're ashes, but they're beauty? It's the beauty that God is giving you. But because you're only looking and not really seeing, my God, you miss out on something even greater. So, family, I just want to, I'm going to stop there. There is more on this journey for you. Age is not a thing. Don't look at the length of time that things seem to be the same. Because if you go back and not just look, but really see, ask God for you to see through his eyes. Let him show you what you have in your hands. Let him show you what you have all around you. Let him show you his glory that's all around you, the goodness of God. Let him show you his goodness. Because if you are not seeing any good, if you can't see the beauty, that means you're not seeing, you're looking. Look, go back and this time see. See what God is doing in your life. See where it's going. Let me tell y'all, I'm so excited about this life's journey. There's been some ups and downs, but I'm telling you, oh man, when I see the goodness of God and the beauty and the good things, and I can look at the people that God has placed in my life, or the moments I get to talk to you all, or those moments that he shows me things and I have those intimate times with him, even if there's chaos around you, see the goodness of God. And he'll turn those ashes into beauty just for you. All right, family, that's it. That's it for this podcast. See. Don't just look. Make sure you see. So until next time, go through your days, your weeks in victory, knowing that God is into the LV podcast with me, Michelle Hall. Until next time, be blessed.